You're back. You're a warrior again.
Got to save the humans again.
I know. It is a kind of funny thing to be given the task to do that twice in one decade.
I love it.
Huh?
Talk about that a little bit more. I mean, you've got the cure for humanity.
Hopefully.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, before I suppose I was trying to do it with physical means, wasn't I? And this is by using my brain. So that's a nice transition switch. Although I do love fighting 8-foot men in arenas. Genuinely do. I love both. I suppose I feel a lovely thing to be invited in to take on the responsibility of playing somebody who's strong enough physically without having to prove any or use brawn and handle the material in the position of being a paleomicrobiologist and a scientist, and I suppose that's maybe about growing up a little bit. So it's quite a responsibility that I have not taken lightly, because it's a world that hasn't been explored too much, virology, and as far as in the film world, we've had Contagion and 12 Monkeys, I suppose.
Dustin Hoffman did one.
Outbreak.
That's right, Outbreak. There we go.
Yes. And I've, through my own course, 2 years prior, the 2 years leading up to this opportunity to work with Michael Bay and TNT on the show, I had got very well entrenched in the world of neurotoxins, and I was studying neurotoxins and their impact on us as a species. I don't know if you're familiar with neurotoxins, but they attack the central nervous system, and they are responsible for a myriad of autoimmune diseases, which has created a very defunct species out of a lot of this population. So I'm intrigued to uncover natural remedies through environmental remediation and natural remediation. So I was into the world, and then this came along, and I was like, perfect. I'd love to explore this character and see what it is and the journey that she takes to possibly find a cure to help save the human race, whether it's because of a virus or whatever it is. So I get the opportunity to talk to virologists every day and geek out and further my studies and play this awesome female who has this incredible task.
Speaking of a female, in the role you're playing, you're carrying a lot of emotional weight for the world and as a female. How are you processing that to bring it out into the character?
The balance of having to be a female in this very masculine environment, it's not foreign to her to begin with, so it's not a case of like, ooh, it's so testosterone driven. All of that personal stuff that usually prickly human friction that one can feel, or personal emotional stuff. When the enormity of a situation like this occurs, one has to imagine that a lot of that stuff gets put on the back burner. That the task at hand to show up with such a tidal wave behind you, the American government, the knowledge that she has that a certain amount of the population has already been struck, but she doesn't know until 4 months in the severity of the issue, and that's when the Russians come in. And so there is that hounds at the heel tidal wave against her that I think that if she lets her emotions come to the forefront, or if that takes over at any point, that she would crack and wouldn't be able to stand up and be who she is in front of Captain Chandler and the rest of the ship. And I think that's the reason why everyone's like, well, she's so aloof and she's so self-contained and she's so standoffish. She's carrying the greatest Fabergé egg that the planet or any human being has ever come across ever, and is trying to make sure that it doesn't break and that she preserve whatever there is to preserve. And so I think that being a man or a woman doesn't really factor at this point. She's a human being who has a certain amount of knowledge, and she's been entrusted by the US government and the Prime Minister, the President, I'm English, with this just overwhelmingly ridiculous task. It's a TV world, it's not a film world, and so you have to gauge the level of emotion you give every week, because we have Michael Bay on the one hand bringing his bombastic qualities and everything that he does as Michael Bay, which is already very sort of big and broad for television, So with the characters, I think it's really important to tread the line and make sure that you're bringing as much realism as possible. And I don't know, I think that some people would go to bits and lose it. But I think in order to do what one has to do, I think one's survival and gut is so incredibly strong. I think we're much stronger than we think we are. And that's the choice that I have made, is to get everyone on board, and this is the direction we need to go. Personal stuff put aside, we have to get on with the task at hand.
What was it like working with the U.S. Navy? Was there anything that took you by surprise, or what did you enjoy the most about that sort of expertise that you brought to it?
Well, I'd just come off a military show, so I was working with the army for a couple of years over in South Africa. So I've been fairly well entrenched with the military. And I was also playing the head of a special ops outfit. So to actually shed the guns and the jackets and the saluting and the MAV and the majors and all that was quite nice to be a civilian and walk on. But being English and coming into an American outfit, and also seeing this machine work, this mechanism flow. I don't ever see suits, colour or rank in my life. So I just see boys and girls and men and women, and I connect with people. And so what I was fascinated with is, who are these boys and girls? And what's the common denominator here, and why are they here? And it's the same all around. People join the military for various different reasons. But the thing that sticks, that usually keeps them there, and the reason why they like to be there or feel compelled to be there, is because they get an opportunity to show up and serve for their brothers and sisters. It's not about war. And there's a sense of pride in being given a structure in your day and doing your best. And people like doing their best. It's not about war. It's about having a sense of honour in your day. And it's a lovely, lovely feeling, because it set the tone for everybody. Everyone shows up on their best behaviour every day, and they're really proud to be there for each other, not for war. And that's the lovely thing,